All right. So for maths today, we are going to be looking at fractions as part of a set. Now what that means is, let's say I have 6 apples. 1, that's a heart, but okay, let's pretend that's an apple. 3, 4, 5, 6. And the fraction asks you to show 2/6 of the picture. 2/6 of the object has to be colored. How many will you color? Well, remember our numerator, the top number, asks for how many parts must be colored. And our denominator, the bottom number, asks for parts of the whole. How many parts has the whole been divided into? Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is our parts of the whole. The whole picture has 6 apples. That's why our denominator is 6. Now we have to say how many parts, because our numerator tells us how many parts should we color? 2. So we color 1, 2 of the 6. Okay, that's basically what parts of a set means. It just means the fraction is maybe just not going to look the way that you thought it was going to look. But still, just step by step, think, what is my numerator asking? What is my denominator asking? And then complete the picture. Now, sorry, I slept really weird. My shoulder is hurting. Okay, so let's say I give you again 6 apples. I'm just going to draw them a bit differently this time. These are awful apples. Okay. Let's say I once again give you 6 apples, but this time I ask you to color a third. Now, take a look at this picture. Our numerator tells us how many parts, and our denominator asks how many parts of the whole. Now, we now have to change this picture, or not change, we have to put this picture in groups so that our fraction is true. Now, they say 3 parts of the whole. Do we only have 3 apples here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we have 6. So we have to make groups so that it is only 3. Now, we could do this. We could say, okay, this is 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. Now our denominator is true. We took our whole picture and we divided it into 3 parts of the whole. 1, 2, 3. Now they say we need to color 1 of those 3 parts. So I have to color 1 of these 3, which means I need to color those 2. Okay, now this makes 2/6 and 1/3 equivalent fractions. That means they are the same. And why do I say that? Remember when I said that if you multiply the top and the bottom, it must be the same number that you are multiplying with for it to be an equivalent. So let's see. 1 times 2 gives me 2, and 3 times 2 gives me 6. These 2 are exactly the same, therefore 2/6 and 1/3 are equivalent fractions. Alright, let's take a look at another example. Let's say flowers. Oh, that's a terrible flower. They look like sheep. What am I doing? Let's do this. Okay. Now they are asking me to shade 5/10 of this picture. So once again, we think about our numerator and our denominator. Oh, my shoulder. Okay, so the numerator tells us how many parts should be shaded. The denominator tells us how many parts of the whole. Now we have to make sure that we have 10 parts of the whole. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't have to put this picture into any groups because we already have 10 parts of the whole. We just need to shade 5 of them. So we color 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now imagine we got this picture again. But this time they ask us to color half of that picture. So now we take our fraction into consideration and we think about our numerator and our denominator. Our numerator asks for how many parts, and it's 1. Our denominator asks how many parts of the whole, and it's 2. However, this picture has 10 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we need to make groups of 2 in order to make this fraction true. So we can say, okay, this is one group and this is the second group because we had to divide those into 2 parts of the whole. Now they say shade one of those parts. All right, so I take one of the sets that I just made up and I color them. There I have colored half of that picture, which means 5/10 and 1/2, or actually a half, 5/10 and a half are equivalent fractions. Why do I say that? 1 times 5 gives me 5, 2 times 5 gives me 10. I multiplied with the same thing at the top and the bottom, which makes this, or these, equivalent fractions. Good. Let's take a look at the worksheets that we are going to do today. So I want you to get your maths packet in front of you. First thing is first, write your name at the top, please. Wherever you want to on the front page, you can write your name. Okay, and next page. First worksheet, parts of a set. Write the correct fractions for the questions. Let's do the first one together. Now, I am going to tell you, these pictures did not come out perfectly because they were in color, but obviously we had to print them in black and white. So all of these are actually noticeable. You can see which ones you need to color, except for the guitars. So let's say for the guitars that 1, 2, 3, don't, 4. That 4 are brown. Just before we get started. Okay, let's do the first one. What fraction of the envelopes are red? Now, you can't, I don't think you can see it on my picture that great, but maybe at home you can see that these 3 are a bit darker than those 2, which means 3 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 5 envelopes are red. That makes 3/5 of the envelopes red. Now I told the kids in class as well, it says colors here, but because the colors will not match obviously on your worksheet because this is black and white, just pretend like they ask, what fraction of the puzzle pieces are black? What fraction of the bells are black? Always try what fraction of the piggy banks are black. Always try to what fraction of the cameras are, oh, this is already black. Try to find the darker ones and tell me how many are black. Okay, so for this one, you will go count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you will go count how many parts of the whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you will go write 4/7 of the puzzle pieces are black. Okay, so that's what you do on this worksheet. That's also what you will do on this worksheet, the next one. Here they do, I think it was Leora who said the shopping cart, she can't see that nicely, so let me just help you. Let's just say of the shopping carts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say 6. 6 are red. But remember, I want to know which ones are black. 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 Black, but okay, you know what I mean. 6 of them. Black and black. So you can do exactly the same as you did on the first page on this one. And then when it comes to the third worksheet, it will say circle the correct answer. Now here, you need to look at what it is that they are asking you. So let's take a look at the first picture. They show some people standing in a line here. Then in the first little block, they ask, what fraction of the group are men? Now the men are the one without the little skirts that are kicking out. So this one is a man and this one is a man. So 1, 2 of them are men. But they ask for the fraction. So 2 will be my numerator because that's how many parts are men. But what is my parts of the whole? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2/5, 2/5 of the group are men. Now they ask what fraction are women? 1, 2, 3. So 3/5 of the group are women. And then you go do the same with the cats and the dogs, with the keys and the locks, and with the cars and the rockets. Remember when you get to the bottom one where it's the toys, this also counts as one of the toys. Don't throw the airplane away just because they don't ask for it. It's still a part of the whole. Okay, so you need to take that into consideration. You can go ahead and do your maths, and next up is phonics.